Most people think that retirement is the end of the story, when it's actually the most powerful chapter and you get to write it. I know, leaving that 9 to 5 can be really scary, but it's the opening of a door to freedom, joy, and new meaning. And remember, you get to write that chapter. But writing that chapter and stepping into this can take some courage. The courage to decide what is best for you and your partner, and not always cave to what everybody else wants and needs and expects and have taken advantage of you for. This is your time to flourish. So let's embrace some courage as we write that next chapter. I am Nancy Kerr. This retirement journey is about 20 years in the making. Yes, I left my 9 to 5 10 years ago, but it really began 10 years prior to that when Alex went out with some medical issues and had to have an early retirement. That took a lot of adjustment. I wanted to touch on a couple of things that we view about retirement. Some of us look at this situation as really good, and some have the concern. Here's one. Retirement means endless relaxation and leisure. It is something to look forward to. After all, the day after I retired, we jumped on a cruise ship and took a 12-day cruise. Leisure and relaxation. But it doesn't take long till you realize that concept is not very fulfilling. It's not filling our life. It's not giving it meaning. We're not really finding joy. The truth is, a fulfilling retirement requires an investment in you, in your time, in engagement, in activity, finding meaning and joy. Number 2, you and your spouse will be closer than ever now that you have more time together. We had crazy schedules, and we looked forward to that amazing time together. And it is truly amazing if you plan it and you really have an idea. But sometimes that 24/7 gets a little threatening. So it is important to have great communication. Trust me, compromise is at the top of the list, and it takes courage to speak up and say, this is what I need. What works for a lot of people is that you have separate hobbies and you feed each other on those hobbies, but it also gives you that time individually. Figure out what works for you, write that chapter, and make it part of the best chapter that you're working on. Your identity is tied to your career, and you will lose yourself if you walk away from it. That's probably one of the greatest fears of a lot of people. Those labels that create our confidence, our self-confidence of who we are. It's a valid fear and it needs work. Retirement is a time to rediscover the real you. Was there an instrument you took lessons for as a child that you really loved and you walked away from that? Here's something that happened in our family. I have always been a singer, and in our community we have karaoke. So I jump in the karaoke. And finally, my husband, for the first time, he got up there and he's doing karaoke. So you don't lose your identity because you've lost your career. You find your identity on who you really are. What's that new hobby you want? Where's that country you want to go to? And maybe you should learn part of the language before you get there. There's a world in this chapter, and it's time for you to start writing that new chapter. I'm not done. I'm ready to keep going, and I'm different. I have grown so much since 20 years ago. Retirement means freedom to choose what is best for you and what you want to do. Retirement means writing your best chapter ever. Share in the comments and tell me something that you have started that you never expected now that you're in retirement, or something that you look forward to and you're going to pursue. And let's talk about it. I would love for you to follow me on this adventure of retirement, whether you're here now or you're looking forward to it, because we want this to be your best years ever.